5. Good.
Hi, everybody. Oh, gosh. Nobody can read it. Yes, now you can. Hi, everybody. Welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're making blondies, so it's time to get started. These blondies are going to be delicious. They're going to be allergen-free. So our allergies that we're going to talk about are gluten, dairy, soy, and eggs. And right about now, it's a great thing to be egg-free because we don't have to worry about finding eggs that are $9 a dozen and putting them into our baked goods. So we've got a delicious recipe for you. We hope that you BYON. Bring your napkin. Because what we're going to be making is a basic blondie recipe that you can kind of create into your own. That's why we've got some things on the end here that we're going to talk about. But first things first, we're going to go over all of our ingredients for you so that you can get prepared, you can get all of your ingredients ready to go step by step with us. So let's get started. I have my fantastic helper, Sophia, here, and I'm your host, Dana. And we're going to go over each and everything before we put it into the bowl and get it started, all right? So we're going to be using 1.5 cups of flour. We have our gluten-free flour blend here. We have 1/2 cup of brown sugar. That's just regular brown sugar. You could use coconut sugar. You could use organic sugar. You could use date sugar. You can substitute the sugar for whatever sugar is best for you. We have in this little glass jar 2 tablespoons of flax ground and 2 tablespoons of water that we've been letting sit to gel. We have in here 1/2 cup of our non-dairy milk. So we used almond today, but you could use coconut, flax, hemp, rice milk, whatever is best for you. Or they could even use a regular dairy milk, right, Sophia? Or a buttermilk. And we have 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. That's why it's getting all bubbly and beautiful. It's kind of making its own buttermilk, which is really what you need to do in order to make some really delicious baked goods. You have to add that apple cider vinegar, and you have to have some type of starter with that, so it makes it really yummy. We have 4 tablespoons of our vegan butter. Today we're using Earth Balance butter, but you can use whatever butter is best for you. We also have 2 teaspoons of baking powder in our vial here, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We've got nice pink Himalayan sea salt. We like this best. We have 1/2 cup of tiger nut flour. Now we're using tiger nuts in a different proportion in this recipe, but it really gives it a lot of great flavor. It also cuts down on the carbs, and it gives you a little bit of protein and fiber. So we love tiger nuts for that reason. We have some additional add-ins here, and add-ins are going to be kind of like whatever you decide. We're going to be using a caramel extract. We're kind of making this like a little cross between a caramel latte and like a cookie butter almost, right? We're kind of blending 2 things together. We want to do a little fusion. We have here our espresso powder. Espresso powder you can get in a regular grocery store, and it's just a concentrated freeze-dried type of coffee, but espresso. My grandma used to use the one that freeze-dried coffee just to make a coffee, but this is great because it's nice and strong. You don't have to brew an espresso if you don't want to. You can just use it, and it's not adding any liquid to your batter. So then here we have chopped tiger nuts. These are really great because they can fool you into thinking they look like toasted or chopped almonds, but they're really actually tiger nuts. This is a great item you can get right on their website. We'll include the link for you so you can check it out. We also have here white chocolate chips, which is our favorite. Enjoy Life has white chocolate chips now, and they're phenomenal. If you guys have not tried them yet, Enjoy Life chocolate chips are allergen-free. White chocolate chips, they're allergen-free. We also have here some chocolate cookie crumbs that are completely allergen-free. These are from Kinnikinnick. You can find them in the grocery store. Sophia's one of your favorite things to put on ice cream. So we're going to blend these in a little bit. And then we also have Kinnikinnick animal crackers. These are so super cute. So we're going to be making a wild and crazy blondie bake, and it's going to be delicious, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. Are you ready to go? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to actually start putting the wet ingredients into our bowl here, and Sophia's going to start sifting the dry ingredients. We're not going to sift the tiger nuts because they're very coarse, so we're just going to add those to the bowl. But Sophia can start sifting the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. You can get started on that. So 1.5 cups of flour and And then we have the baking powder already measured out for her. And the sugar, the brown sugar, we're just going to put right into the wet ingredients. This is a 1-bowl bake, which I love because I hate really messing up a bunch of bowls. But I'm going to have Sophia sift everything onto the Silpat. And the Silpat's really easy to clean. You just wipe it off. If you don't have a Silpat, you could use parchment paper, plastic wrap, or you could just use another bowl. It's up to you. Or you can actually do it right into here and then add your wet afterwards. These really come out the same whether you do the wet and the dry first, so don't stress out about it. 1.5 cups of flour, yep. So I'm using the paddle attachment today. I find that it works best with like a batter type brownie or cookie or anything like that. We also have the whisk attachment, which we don't need, but if we were going to be making a topping like a meringue topping or a fresh cream, we would use our whisk later. All right, so I have our flax and water going in. It's very gooey. You can see that gelatinous creation that flax and water make, and that's actually the egg substitute for our batter. So if you're worried about making egg-free dishes, do not worry because we have tons of them on the app. We have lots of them that we can get to you because it's really not that difficult when you live this lifestyle to make something egg, dairy, and gluten-free. We can incorporate this type of batter or recipe really almost to shift it to make a lot of things. You almost done? All right, I'm going to add the milk. And that was basically our dairy-free plant-based milk that we had with our apple cider vinegar, and that kind of makes a buttermilk. I'm going to also add our butter. You did the flour, salt, baking powder. Yeah. I'm going to add that right to the mixer, and we're going to just put it on low. And I'm going to slowly add our brown sugar. Now, this is regular brown sugar. It is organic, but basically brown sugar is molasses and white sugar. So if you needed to make your own at home, you could do that if you don't have any brown sugar. You could also use maple syrup or honey or agave or yacon syrup. Any of those would do fine. The brown sugar gives it a nice soft texture and a little bit of a caramelly flavor, which we're going to also be adding with this. So I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of our extract, and we're using caramel today. You can use whatever extract you like. In our previous recipe, we used a hazelnut extract, which I love. Love hazelnut. All right, then I'm going to add our Tigernut flour. We have 1/2 cup of Tigernut flour. Look at this. It's so nice. It feels so soft, and it's very healthy for you. So 1/2 cup of Tigernuts flour. And then I have Sophia's mixture that we're going to put in, which is 1/2 cup, 1.5 cups of our gluten-free flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to add that in. See how nice the Silpat is? It just doesn't even work. No, I don't need that. I put it in already. All right, so now we're going to think about our add-ins. And we're actually going to do a combo because we want to make this like a little combo. We're going to use 1/2 cup of chopped tiger nuts. Want to give it that little crunch, imitating somewhat of a nut without the nuts. Oh, yes. You can toast this amount and put those on the top. And then, Sophie, you want to do white chocolate chips?
Sure.
We're going to do white chocolate chips. You do 1/4 to 1/2 cup of white chocolate chips or whatever chip that you like. I say the more the merrier on the chips, but that's up to you. We also have our dairy-free regular chocolate chips, which are also very, very delicious. These you can put in there if you like. So Blondie is essentially the brownie without the cocoa powder. Excuse me. So today we're making that Blondie because it's National Blondie Day and we want to celebrate with you. And we want you to be able to celebrate allergen-free. So in order to do that, we're going to create for you this delicious recipe. We're going to bake this in the oven at 350. Let me just get our add-ins in. So we're going to do that little bit of espresso powder. It's really going to give it a nice flavor. Nothing wrong with a little espresso. If you don't like espresso, just omit this part of the recipe. It's not going to change the texture or anything. It's just going to change the flavor. Yeah, right. You just want to pour it into your mouth. So a little bit of that espresso powder. Can you put this away from me? We're done with all this stuff. And then Sophia wanted to do the cookie crumbs. You want to do the cookie crumbs, right?
Sure.
So we'll do 2 teaspoons of cookie crumbs. You can also do the bottom if you wanted to do a cookie crumb base and then pour the batter over it. Now it looks like we're making a brownie, but we're making a blondie, so don't worry. We assure you this is a blondie. Okay, last thing we need to do is we need to prepare our dish. We're using a Pyrex glass dish, and we're going to butter and flour this. If you don't have parchment paper, if you don't have foil, the best thing to do is butter and flour. You can butter and sugar, and you'll get a nice little crunch on the bottom, and that's completely up to you. We want to give you options so that you can make it yours, make it at home. All right, so our blondie batter is done, and it's ready to go into our dish, and Sophie's going to get that ready for us. So if you guys are not familiar with tiger nuts is actually a tuber, and it's not a nut. Mind the saying, it is not a nut, and they are actually grown in the ground like a potato. These come from Spain, and Tigernuts USA was the first company to bring tiger nuts to America, and this comes from a long line of 2 very sweet gentlemen who snacked on these when they were younger. It was their candy treat, and it tastes a little bit like coconut. It has a little bit of a sweet flavor. It really adds a nice texture to your baked goods. You can make so many things with tiger nuts, and I know you guys are going to love it, so you can click the link in our sponsor spotlight, our Fridge Friends Pantry Partners, and you can actually check them out there and read all about them if you like. Yep, go ahead, flour. And Sophia's doing a great job of buttering and flouring. That's enough. So when you butter and flour your pan, it's ensuring the fact that you're going to get your baked good out without having anything stick. Go that way and then tap it off if you want to. Go all the way around. Okay. And then we're going to top our little baked goods with our cookies. So we're going to put our oven on 350, and then we're going to put these in for 25 to 30 minutes. You want to put it back in here? And we'll use it later. Let me take this away for you. Parchment paper is an easy way, but you're still going to have to butter and flour it because you want to be able to pull it out. The parchment paper, sometimes it comes self-oiled, and you don't have to do it yourself, but you really need to read the instructions on it. A lot of parchment papers are oiled with soybean oil, so you want to check the ingredients, and if it doesn't say it on the package, if it says oiled parchment, you want to call the company and make sure that that does not have soybean oil in it if you have a soy allergy. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually tap this off. Yeah. It's okay. Get this right here. So look at what she did. She's got it nice, buttered and floured. We're ensuring the fact that our blondies are going to come out, and we're going to be able to eat every last little bit because we don't want to waste anything, do we? You can take that away, and then we'll pour this in. Good girl. All right, so I'm just going to remove all the batter from my utensil here, and then I'm going to just bring it all to the center and make sure it's well combined. I want to make sure there's nothing sticking on the bottom. Sometimes that happens. You can't help it. But you can see how nice this batter is. Look at this. You can even make a nice little cookie if you wanted to. A blondie cookie would be nice. Scoop it out to mounds. Or you can refrigerate it into a nice log and then slice them into cookies. All right, so we're going to get started. Sophie, you want to put this in here? We'll take this away. Put that right into the pan. You need help? You want me to hold it? I'll hold it.
I already have my hand in there.
So we have our toasted tiger nuts here, and then we have our little animal cookies. They're going to be cute on top. A lot of times people put powdered sugar or cocoa powder on top before or after they bake it. Either way, you can do it. It's fine. If you put the cocoa powder on top or the powdered sugar on top before, it may soak in or it may make like a brown crust. It could happen. So you want to be careful. And if you want those things on top, you can certainly decorate it afterwards. So we have an 8-by-8 inch pan here that we've taken care of and made sure that those blondies are going in and they're going to be good. They're going to pop out nice and beautiful. Good girl. All right, so Sophia's going to just flatten that out, and then we're going to add our animal crackers to the top, make it super cute. You can do these after or before. If you were going to do a frosting, I would say save them for after. We're not going to do a frosting. We're just going to do a little powdered sugar on top, and then we'll have a nice little blondie. Good job, honey. You want to get into all those little corners. If your spatula is not working so well, you can use something like put your hand in a plastic baggie. Just kind of press in the corners. Good job. You're done. That's good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle the top with a little bit of tiger nuts. And I'm going to let Sophia put on the animals. Look, just sprinkle some tiger nuts on top. We don't want to miss a spot. And then I'm going to let Sophia put the animal crackers on. And we'll put them on like this. Yeah, we'll put them on like that so they can stand up. So these animal crackers are really cute. They're from Kinnikinnick. They're kind of different animal crackers. They have like monkeys and elephants, and they have camel, and they have alligator. Yeah, with the camel, I broke his head, so he's not in there right now.
How many humps?
Sorry?
How many humps on a camel?
How many humps? I think this camel had 2 humps. I'm not really exactly sure, but it was super cute. Oh, there's a lamb.
A ram.
Oh, a ram. Nice. I like the elephants. They're super cute. And we have a pig here, a horse. Is that the ram right there? Okay. So this actually will give you about 9 to 12 brownies, depending upon how you cut it. If you want a nice big blondie, then you're going to cut a larger size. I said brownie, but you know I meant blondie. If you want a smaller size, then you can cut actually where the animals are, cut it into 4s.
Oh, it looks like one.
One what? Blondie?
Mm-hmm.
When it's done, we're gonna cut them. They have to cool completely before you cut them, so don't forget that, because if you cut it when it's warm, although it will be delicious, it will make a mess. Make a big mess. All right, Sophie, you're gonna get those in the oven. So we're gonna put these in the oven, 350 for 25 to 30 minutes, and we're gonna let them bake. Go ahead and bake. And then I'm gonna have Sophia bring up our already baked blondies that we have prepared for you. They're not as beautiful as these, so we will be sure to post our picture on the app so you can see them. And then she made me a delicious cup of coffee, because if you didn't BYOM,
Bring a napkin.
you didn't bring your own napkin, and you're drooling, you're going to have to go make these blondies today so you can celebrate National Blondie Day with us. So our blondies that we made yesterday, let me get these onto a plate. These are hazelnut white chocolate chip with a little hazelnut crunch in the center. And I don't know if you could see that, but we had a little hazelnut crunch and we just kind of broke it up in there. It was so yummy. And as you can see, without any eggs or dairy, we have no problem, right? We've got a nice lift. Thank you, honey. I didn't take a sip yet. And we're going to just sprinkle these with some powdered sugar. We actually made sure that we did our parchment properly so that we can get all of those blondies out. Are you sipping my coffee? Now, if you wanted to decorate the tops, you can decorate the tops with some frosting. Some people like their blondie frosted. You can do a simple frosting with either cocoa powder and a vegan type of a cream cheese, or you can just leave them like that. And what we're going to do is just do some powdered sugar on top. You want to do the honors, Sophia? Powdered sugar? I know you like to do the powdered sugar on the top. Yes, go, 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 go. Good job, good job. All right, that's enough. So there you have it. Our gluten, dairy, egg, and soy-free blondies. Just made for you. We've got our white chocolate chip hazelnut crunch blondies. And we're just going to have a little bite with a little sip of coffee, aren't we? I think I'll dip mine in my espresso. There you have it, guys. A beautiful allergen-free blondie to celebrate National Blondie Day. How was that good? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want you to come taste and see how really good it is to be gluten-free. with our delicious blondie recipe. Now it'll be dropped into the app today, and you'll be able to watch the show, get all your ingredients ready, and you can actually see the recipe in a written form. So thank you guys for tuning in today. We're so glad that you were here. Thank you, Sophia, for your help. Thank you to all our camera crew and our lights and gluten-free grandma for hanging out with us and waiting for just a little nibble. Just a little nibble. All right? You want to say goodbye? Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Aprons by REM Designs. Hair by Satiny. Makeup by Artistry. Other way around. Aprons by REM Designs. Thank you to our pantry partners and frigid friends. ABC Gluten Free is a production of American Bods. Thank you, everybody. God bless and have a delicious weekend. Ciao.